What's up, guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. So, as you can see, I'm not in my usual spot today. Unfortunately, it was raining outside, so yeah, I decided to hop into the mall here and walk around a little bit. Unfortunately, it's super noisy in here, so if you hear any background noise, that is why. But it's a very busy mall that's over here in District 9, Saigon. And yeah, sorry, it's in Illinois. Um, and yeah, I'm just gonna be doing the video from here today. Now, first of all, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's kind of shown up and supported the YouTube channel. Um, I actually haven't shared it with many people I know, just maybe two or three people. So I guess these are all random people that are coming to say hi and showing out love. I really appreciate it. It really inspires me to keep doing what I'm doing because, gonna be honest, making and editing these videos takes some time. It really does, and then you have to think of the ideas, what to film, what to say, etc., etc. So it does take some time, but I appreciate the outpouring of love. So in this video, I want to talk about a couple things that people don't really think about before they come to Vietnam or come to Asia for that matter, because it's just a very different culture, right? I know that's something I talked about before, how different the culture is when it comes to hello, Zinchao. So I put them on the map here. Some people have hello. Come on, take care. This song making a video, I wanted to jump in and say hi. A lot of people do that. It's actually kind of interesting how many people want to be on camera these days. It's kind of funny. But I'm always gonna oblige, right? I appreciate the support. And it encourages you as well. It makes you feel warm inside, warm and fuzzy inside. Anyway, so that's one of the things I'm going to talk about as well. 5 things that I didn't expect before I came to Vietnam. So I'm walking past one of these mall things for kiddies. So I apologize for the noise. Just give me a sec until I pass it here. Let me see. I'll just go downstairs. I think it's a little bit more quiet. So yeah, this is the mall. You can see behind me. Quite a large and spacious mall here in District 9. It's very nice. They have a couple of coffee shops downstairs. All the stores you need and nothing that you don't need. Behind me as well, there is a supermarket called Co-op Extra. On the other side, there is a medical center. There are a lot of clothing stores, a lot of clothing options here. So I'll show you guys now. Right here behind me, you can see they have everything upstairs as well. So yeah, very thorough mall. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. 4 or 5 things that you need to know before you decide to come to Asia, because these are things that are these are things that people don't really think about, right? But one is how nice everyone is. As you can see from the starting part of this video, I've walked past so many people who just are so happy to say hi to you if you're a foreigner, right? And that's not something that you will see very commonly in America anymore. Or in Western countries. It feels like, unfortunately, in a sense, we've lost our hospitality. No, that there is a reason for that, though, right? I live in the South. I live in Georgia, and so I think Southern hospitality still exists for sure. But the thing is, staff things malfunctioning. Sorry, it's very directed, because what's happened as well is we've also been too hospitable, and so we've had a lot of, for lack of a better word, undesirable people take advantage of the hospitality, right? So that is a factor. I do get that. And so it only makes sense as to why Western countries are all closing borders. We have a lot of people that hate us that are coming into it. Now, I don't want to make this a geopolitics thing, but this is a reality, right? This is the truth. So people here are very, very nice. You'll find that most people will say hi, they will wave, they will nod. And if you're polite and if you speak the language, for the most part, people are going to be pretty willing to engage with you in conversation. And that's not something that you will find happening very often anymore in Western countries. So that's a big plus to me for Vietnam. Another thing that's really interesting. Another thing that's really interesting is the difference between how much people use cash and card here. If you're in America, 99% of the time, everyone's going to use card or Apple Pay, or it's just going to be digital. People aren't really using cash. I honestly can't remember the last time that I pulled cash out. I think maybe I have I try to keep $100 on me for emergencies, but realistically, everyone wants you to pay with card. And if you do pay with cash, it's gonna be they're not really street vendors outside of places like New York City, or in the middle of a cityscape. So you're not gonna find the option to use cash very often. So everyone just uses card or Apple Pay. Whereas here in Vietnam or here in Asia, cash is still pretty much king. No, Thailand is an exception to this. I think Thailand is becoming a lot more QR code, but you have to have a bank account kind of to make stuff work. But it still works, right? You still can use cash. And if you're a foreigner coming to these countries, you have to have the expectation that unless you do carry cash 90% of the time, you're going to have a hard time paying for stuff. That's just a reality. So that's another thing to think about. Another thing which people kind of expect, so this shouldn't come as a shock, is the cost of things. You will notice that everything seems to be a lot cheaper. And I will speak for Vietnam for this specific one because it varies, right, from country to country. So I'm just going to speak for Vietnam. I would say that your buying power is about 4 to 5 times stronger than the West in Vietnam. And when I say the West, I'm speaking about America specifically. I don't really know much about other Western countries, right? I haven't been to Europe, so I don't really know, except for layovers. So I don't really know. I can't speak on that. However, I know for America what stuff looks like. And I can tell you right now that you get about 4 times more. Oops, sorry. My thingy is malfunctioning here. I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. Let me just revert this. Bam. Okay, got it fixed. We might have to cut that out and start over. Nah, we'll leave it in. We'll be authentic. We'll be authentically bad at this camera thing until I can figure it out. But no, your buying power is going to go up about 4 or 5 times here. For example, my apartment here in District 9, Saigon, is is very affordable. It's about $550 a month. For an apartment like this, exactly like these kinds of amenities, the pool, the gym, etc., etc., it's going to be probably about. Oops, we have the kitties thing going by. Let me see if I can get it on camera. I can't. Hello, Sintal. Oh, there you go. You can kind of see it. Kids like, oh, why is that person a different color? Anyway, so going back to what I was talking about, the cost of living. My apartment here, I only pay about $550 to $600 for in Saigon, right? Whereas if I was in America, that apartment's easily going to be somewhere around maybe around $2,000 to $2,500 for an apartment of this quality. It's just not something that you're gonna get at all in America for the price, right? The quality of my apartment is phenomenal, to be honest. Okay, so we're back. Like I was saying before, I was rudely interrupted by Apple asking me to upgrade my storage because I'm refusing to do so. The quality that I get, oh, that's really low right here. Move away. And I apologize again. I know this isn't my typical place for filming videos, but like I said, it's been raining all day. And as soon as I decided to start filming, it had a break and it started raining again. So I said, screw it. Anyway, going back to the value for dollar, as I was saying, the value for dollar that I get here is so much more high, and just I get such a nice apartment for the price, right? Like I only pay roughly about $550 to $600 per month for my spot, and it is phenomenal compared to what I would get in America, for example. If I'm spending, I would well for starters, in America that wouldn't even get me a room, right? Like my last place in America cost me about maybe 1600 bucks, and that was a one-bedroom condo in the countryside. If I was in the city, like in Atlanta, a decent studio is almost $2,000. Apartment of this quality with all the amenities that I get, the view that I have, the peace and quiet, just the quality of residents that live there as well. Because that's another factor, right? You want to have good residents if you want to enjoy your place. And I would spend probably $2,000 to $2,500 very, very easily for that kind of apartment. So just the value for your dollar, it goes so far here, right? And that's one of the things that obviously makes it super, super attractive for people to want to live here. And that's, one of the big ones for sure. Something people don't think about though is, and a cost that comes up that doesn't really get talked about, is the cost of visa runs. I walk through there. Let me see, I was trying to see if I could walk through there, but I can't. The cost of visa runs is another expense that comes up. And it's actually something that costs a significant amount of money. Because if you're every 3 months, especially for Vietnam, you have to do a visa run every 3 months. Unless you're either married to a Vietnamese woman and have a oh, Xin chào, Xin chào. Hello. Unless you're married to a Vietnamese woman and have a TRC, or you have a work permit or a business visa, which allows you to stay for a year. TRC allows you to stay for 5 years, but you'll have to do visa runs. And these, although they can be cheap, one-off expenses, at least to me, they're ever the argument, I don't know what you're saying, Didn't catch what you said anyway. Although they can be cheap one-off expenses, they do add up over time. Think about the fact that every 3 months you don't have to go to a different country to do a visa run. That could be maybe going to Cambodia. That's the cheapest way I've seen. And that one is maybe about $150 to $200. You get on a van, you go to Cambodia, the border, and you stay there for 20 minutes, you get your visa, you come back in, that's one. The other way I know about, which I have traditionally done, is flying maybe to Thailand, or flying to Malaysia, or flying to, I'm not really a big fan of Cambodia, so that's why I just kind of avoid there. But flying to Thailand is my preferred way. Flying to Malaysia, flying to Singapore, flying to Japan, or one of the other Asian countries, and then waiting for my e-visa, then coming back to Vietnam. But those trips obviously can add up very, very quickly, right? An average flight to Thailand is something like maybe an average flight to Thailand. Average flight to Thailand is maybe somewhere about $100 one way, maybe 120, $130 one way. The visa, again, if you're gonna pay for a visa, is about $50, $30 to $60. And then, of course, you're gonna need accommodations if you're gonna stay for more than a day. There are other costs involved, right? The visa run is just part of it. You're gonna have to pay for airport food. You're gonna have to find, depending on how long you're staying to do your visa, you might have to find a hotel. These are all costs that could add up. What I like to do is I like to make a mini vacation of it. So I just budget, $1,000 or more, and just go have a little mini vacation in a different country if I'm doing a visa run. But that's something that people don't really think about as well, the cost of visa runs, because that is a cost that does add up, and it will get more expensive the longer that you stay here. Yeah, well done. Another thing, hope they don't have a problem with me filming in here. I shop in here all the time, and I know it's super quiet, so I figured, hey, let me come in to film. But another thing that many people don't think about as well when they come to Vietnam, as we have heard throughout this video, and that's why I brought it up, it's the noise. Vietnam is not a quiet country, guys. I'll be very frank. As a matter of fact, that is probably one of the reasons why I personally prefer Thailand to live in. It's not a quiet country. It's super, super noisy here. And truthfully, like after living in Thailand for such a long time, I lived in Thailand for about on and off for 2 years. It's a bit of an adjustment. It really requires a bit of an adjustment because when I did live in Thailand, everyone is just super, super, super quiet and no one talks so loudly. So coming to Vietnam from a culture like that is very, very hard because you don't expect for people to be very loud, but alas, they aren't. And when I say loud, I mean loud to the point where, for example, when I first came back to Vietnam this trip, I stayed in District 7 for about 2 weeks. And I was working at night at a time. And I genuinely could not sleep in the day because people were making so much noise in the hallways of my apartment. And this is a nicer apartment building as well. This is a place that costed me almost $1,000 a month. So clearly it's a nicer place, especially for Vietnam, right? But regardless of that, it still was so expensive. And yet people were still so noisy there. So I will let you know that right now, Vietnam is a very noisy country, and this is something that you're gonna have to learn to deal with. The road is extremely noisy. The people are a bit noisy, no offense to the people, but it is true. They do speak a lot louder and they're much more expressive than people in other countries. And that's just a factor that you'll have to learn to deal with. And if you can't deal with it, well, it's not a place for you. So that's another factor, right? And this video has been going on for some time, so I don't want to take too long. The last thing I want to wrap up by saying is I want to talk about something that makes Vietnam very appealing to me personally and to many other of the gentlemen that I've met here, is dating. Personally, I think that Vietnam is probably one of the last places in the world, and I'm not being superlative, I'm being extremely honest. I think it's one of the few places left in the world where you can still find a wife. I'm gonna be honest. I have dated now in a couple countries. Being truthful with you, the US is absolutely. I would never ever get married again there. I did get married before, and I got very, very lucky with the way that things panned out. Had I played my cards a little bit worse than I did, because I did play them pretty badly, but I could have played them worse compared to some people that I've met. I could have been completely screwed. I got very lucky. And Vietnam has what I would say are probably some of the highest quality women in terms of both looks as well as personality and loyalty and other things of that nature in the world. And that's a big difference that you're going to see when you come to Vietnam that just doesn't exist in the West anymore. Unfortunately, a lot of the Western women have ridiculous standards and not much to offer for it. Like, especially in America, it seems like every single woman that I meet, and a lot of my guy friends that I talk to who are mostly successful guys as well, these are guys that have six-figure businesses, they're self-employed. A lot of them are CEOs or COOs or tech execs, work as engineers, stuff like that. And we're all having the same problems. So clearly it's not a me thing. Clearly it's if all the guys I'm talking to who are quality guys and decent guys, and educated, smart, articulate guys are having the same problems, it's not just me. You know, I was wondering, maybe I'm just an abnormality, which I definitely am for sure. I definitely am a bit of a black swan, but I've come to realize that when it comes to that department, I'm not necessarily a black swan. I think there are a lot of people having the same issues. So this is, I think, probably the final bastion of common sense and quality dating in the modern world. I think this probably Vietnam, Japan, and maybe the Philippines but the Philippines has its own set of problems. But if you want to find a wife, this is the place to do it. And so I'll talk about that in another video. I'll save that one. That is a long topic on its own. So maybe that's what I'll do in the next video. Maybe I'll talk about dating, and that's going to be another thing that's very, very different from the West. But I've been talking for a while in this video. I just wanted to share some things that I thought are going to be very different from any other Western country. If you come here, some stuff that are kind of like just some things to expect. Things that people don't think about, culture shocks. And I think I've done so. If you have any questions or you want any thoughts from me, or you just want to ask for me to make a video on a specific topic, don't hesitate to do so. I'm an open book, and you can ask me anything. My Instagram is the same as my channel name, @digital-latent, so feel free to message me there and ask a question, and I will do my best to answer. But also, if you do have a question, just drop it in the comment, and if it's good, I'll make a video on it, because I probably will be running on the topics to make videos on soon anyway. So thanks so much for watching, and drop a like, drop a sub if you enjoyed it. Thanks again, guys. I appreciate the support so far, and I apologize for the background noise. My mic, as you can see, isn't the greatest, and it's, as I said, Vietnam is a noisy country, so it is what it is. All right, guys, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Take care.